I think whether or not, in order to decide whether something is good or not, whether something works or not, we have to look at the results. We have to look at the, the what does the statistics say, or what does the research say, and so once we have that particular research in our hands, it's only then that we can have a clearer, more succinct sort of analysis, and a more succinct, more distinct, um, confirmation as to whether something works or not, or whether we should be doing something or not in the way we choose to. And like I think what happens is that usually when we try to do something, whether whatever be the process, whether we're trying to learn a new language, whether we're trying to learn a new skill, I think it is rather important to incorporate a lot of different techniques. Like for example, if it is about learning languages, I think Duolingo is a pretty good tool. But at the same time, what I would say is that Duolingo shouldn't be the only tool for a person. Like I like Duolingo for the fact that it allows me to have this, like it's formed like a game. I'm not saying that even when it comes to games, I'm not saying that Duolingo is the best kind of language game out there, but at least its format and the app is, because of its popularity and because it earns a lot of money, I guess the app functions better compared to other apps. So given all of those things, Duolingo is a tool that I use. So I am not somebody, I see a lot of people who are very critical about Duolingo. So I'm not 100% critical about Duolingo. But at the same time, what I would also say is that people should incorporate it with textbooks, with, normal average, like, you talk to some person in real, even if your language has not developed fully, you can still go ahead and, I mean, there are nowadays, if you can afford, there are nowadays these websites where you can book an appointment or something to talk to a native speaker, or you can just simply go out and talk to a native speaker. And I feel like I've always sort of recommended this to people. I don't know how effective people think this is, but I've always told people, whenever someone has asked me, like, what's the best way to learn a language, I would always say that you should go ahead and watch movies, a whole lot of them, and you need to have patience with that. Well, with watching movies, in a foreign language, you might have the subtitles on or off, or that doesn't matter, but you have to, but that's a good way, because sometimes maybe you might be a little hesitant to go out and like interact with native speakers, but at least movie watching is, you can do it in a safe space and still like acquire the language, because movies nowadays, they're made with a very naturally spoken style of any language, so that allows, I think, to have a get a sense of idea of how a language really works or operates. So I think that's very important, in my opinion.